take it away. In a second. After this.
Alright guys, here we go. It is DongRaeGu versus DreamerTT. ComplexityMVP.DongRaeGu spawning as our red Zerg down at the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak. His opponent in the top right-hand corner, sporting the blue trunks, it's QIM's DreamerTT. He's our blue Terran, and he knocked out Tails with a very... It's weird. He actually had superbly good macro and perfect aggression, even though he stemmed basically every conceivable opportunity. But he really just kept Tails just off his game.
Yeah, and you know, if you really think about it, the Marine Marauder Ball's damage output is so high that they don't necessarily need all that many hit points.
Right.
I mean, the Protoss Ball is going to be control firing Marines down anyway, so oftentimes a single volley from Stalkers will kill a Marine anyway. So if it's super low, it doesn't necessarily make the biggest difference in the world, but I mean, it certainly makes a difference. If Zealots are one-hitting Marines and just taking them out, it's obviously not a good situation for you. But he managed to stutter step micro his Marines after killing that Nexus and picked off a bunch of Stalkers as well. So
yes,
still got his worth out of it for sure. And
I definitely agree.
It was pretty impressive. I mean, he could have actually tried to run up into the main maybe and held the ramp or something like that.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. He had a couple of opportunities where that could have happened.
Else.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. But as it stands, he still does take the game in the end, and now he has got no small task in front of him, as Complexity MVP's DongRaeGu is a player that has been destroying in tournaments recently. Excuse me. A lot of people concentrate on Naniwa and Leonok at Providence. Don't forget, he got third, won himself $15,000. He won IEM just before that, which got him another $10,000 or something along those lines. And then, don't forget, a couple of months ago, he won the DreamHack Valencia Invitational, which was a $15,000 winner-take-all. He won a best-of-5 in the 5th game against Thorzane for another $15,000. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's done really well the past few months.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't underestimate him at all. And he was, you know, heralded as one of the best players for a while. I mean,
yes,
there was that DongRaeGu month where everybody was just riding the bandwagon and thought that he was going to be the next. You know,
he all killed Prime
thing
in the GSTL, and then yep.
And you know, he's lived up to it.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to out myself. I am going to out myself. If you guys remember when with GSTL, Team Liquid had that make your own fantasy team kind of a thing, I actually super front-loaded my pick because you got points for your points on your 4 team winning, and you lost points if people on your anti-team who you expected to lose, you know, went ahead and did poorly. Or what did well. If they won games, then you lost points. And I actually front-loaded it because my idea was that I need to pick one AAA guy to do poorly. My AAA guy I picked was DongRaeGu. He then promptly all-killed Prime. So that's how I remember that one so well, because that actually put me back at, like, the 97th percentile, like, in the overall league. Yeah, it was terrible.
That's
anyway,
hilarious.
But Reactor Expand out of DreamerTT, no real surprise there. This is, of course, Daybreak, a map that lends itself well to you move from 2-base aggression into super macro mode. So this is still my favorite map in the map pool right now. I love it. I love everything about it. It's multiple attack paths. You can't defend all of them. You have to force yourself to have map control, and you have naturally occurring macro games. So I'm looking forward to a very good game here.
I also like how the Xel'Nagas don't show, you know,
yeah,
too much.
Look at his vision right now. He now has control of both of the Xel'Nagas, and, you know, any units that are going up around this path, completely out of vision. You just have to have map control of it.
Exactly, and that's I really like that about this map. There's multiple paths, and maps where one Xel'Naga kind of covers the entirety of the attack paths.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't make things very interesting for me. It just kind of, it leads to kind of bland games, and whoever has control over the Xel'Naga has a huge advantage, and he's going to find that SCV.
Yes, he is.
I will get taken out immediately.
SCV spins around as it dies. We do have a couple of Hellions making their way through the middle, though. That would have been a nice spot for that SCV to be, because, of course, he would have been able to pick up on any expansions and just bunker it up really quickly. But that's not going to happen, and these Hellions are going to start pushing their way in to greet a couple of Queens, and they're immediately going to be turned around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Queen's out there pretty far, pretty aggressive position there, but won't allow DreamerTT to get in and get any kind of scouting information with those Hellions, and it looks like he's going to go around to the 3rd and then maybe check in. No? So Dreamer really has no idea.
Wow, and he's going right after Blue Flame Hellion as well, as he techs up to Starport almost immediately, so he's going mech.
Second factory as well.
Yeah, he's just going to go straight mech.
Interesting. I like this move from him. It's very risky, though. If DRG decided to do some sort of a roach push,
yeah,
he would be in a lot of trouble.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, he only has a couple Marines. Does he even have a bunker at the front by his natural?
No, he does not. He's going to start walling that in with supply depots, but no bunker quite yet. And you're absolutely right. A roach push would do very well against him, but we do have +1 melee attacks coming out, so DRG is showing conventional Ling Baneling probably an Immuta whenever Lair is finished, so which, of course, Mech is going to play very well against.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to need a lot of Thors on this map, though, and he's going to have them spread out very well with a lot of turrets, and that's one thing that players run into a lot of trouble with, is dealing with the Mutaball once it starts getting into those really high numbers. Oh, wow. You got to pick off a bunch of creep timbers here. Actually forces the cancel. Does get kill two of them. Yeah. And wow, a scan right there would be so nice. Oh, my God.
There's actually so many creep tumors up there. 13 of them. Another one actually just formed over on the left-hand side as well. So DongRaeGu is being very diligent about his creep spread.
Scan.
Which is very, very nice. Now it looks like he's just accumulating his forces at the moment. Blue Flame's actually finished. And what has he seen so far? Well, truthfully, not quite all that much. He did see the Evolution Chamber, and did see the second one if he clicked on it.
And I love DRG's full wall at the front here. And oh, here comes the Medevac. It's going to pick up 4 Hellions and send them straight into the main. There is one Queen up there. I think he should be able to hold this. I don't know. It's going to be close.
Yeah. That's pretty good damage output, but don't forget that Blue Flame Hellions actually do not do any additional damage against Queens.
No speed on the Lings.
Oh, and already these drones are starting to take quite a bit of damage. The Blue Flame Hellions doing a lot here. Certainly have made their cost worth it inside of the main and denying mining time and killing Zerglings and drones.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to kill some more drones here. Looks like, the last
really
two go down right before that super prime volley could go off.
Yep, and
gonna drop again.
So DRG does hold. Let's see here. Looks like he's backed away with most of his Hellions, actually.
He's got a Viking out now as well.
And an expansion going up to 3 base pretty quick. Of course, you do need a quite stout economy to support a ton of factories going down.
He better get those Thors started. He only has 1 tech lab right now.
He does have an armory up already, though, with upgrades on the way. Oh, it looks like he's trying to build Thors. He's just supply capped at the moment.
So he really needs to get those Thors out. The Spire's about to finish here in a second. Oh, wow, nice transfuses going down right there.
Very nice.
DRG doing a lot of damage to these Hellions. He will clean up these Lings and then probably pick off these Queens as well, though.
Yeah, but it has that bought enough time. It has bought enough time for a couple more transfusions, though. So, looks like he's going to sack 1 Queen so that he can go ahead and defend at the back, because it looks like another Medevac's about to make its way down and drop some more.
Ooh, this could do a lot of damage here, especially if DRG's not paying too much attention. He could kill so many drones. Oh my goodness! Look how many drones there are.
For that one hit. Oh, where is it? He's killed a few. There's a few more.
Goodness.
And to get off 1 more, no, not quite. But there are more Hellions running through the front, trying to kill some more drones. He's killed 14 this entire game, and he actually does have a supply advantage. That Viking was actually paying for itself quite well, as DongRaeGu is almost supply blocked. He's actually got to make another Overlord right now.
And here come the Thors. We have multiple Thors coming out of the factories right now. 1 is already at the front, and he's starting to get some missile turrets down in the proper places. Let's check around his base and see the infrastructure and see if there's any vulnerabilities.
None
Looks
here at the natural, but he's actually building them at the front.
So a little bit of vulnerability there at the natural, and potentially here at the third. He's not going to be able to get that one up. He's actually going for the turret here with 5 Mutas.
I think that's... I mean, basically the turret just killed a Muta, almost killed a second, and bought time for the Thor to make its way down, and doesn't get the shot on the already weakened Mutalisk, but still, not a lot of damage done from those Mutas. A little bit of a Ling run by through the front, but Hellions were there to greet the Lings.
Now, is he going to go with more Mutalisks and try and build up a significant pack, or is he going to switch it up and transition into something else to deal with this mech play? It looks like he is actually getting missile attacks now, and melee attacks level 2. Roach speed is on the way. Baneling speed is also on the way.
He just canceled melee attacks level 2, if you notice. Just canceled it. So he's going to stick with missile attacks, go to Roaches, and research Ventral Sacs at the same time.
Interesting.
So we're going to see Roach drops. Baneling drops probably with Roaches as well. He may decide to do a big Doom drop inside of the main because a mech army is going to be fairly immobile, and Roaches being picked up and maneuvered effectively will be able to run around the Thors quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And DongRaeGu just now taking the supply lead back. We're at 132 to 121. DRG ahead, and he's getting +2 weapons on his mech units and tons of turrets
actually, it was just he finished up melee. I apologize. I looked at that for half a second and
I actually thought he canceled it too.
Yeah. I looked at it for half a second. I thought it was only partially completed, but my mistake, guys. He did actually finish up melee attacks level 2.
So he's got pretty good upgrades going into this mid game here.
Certainly. And Thor's going to chase the pack of mutas away.
I like the Raven.
It's quite a bit of Roaches though, but did he just build a Raven?
Yeah, and he's getting some Banshees as well.
Very nice. All right, so he's going through the air.
Okay. Well, that Mutapack certainly isn't big enough, to really impose its will on. The Thors will be able to clean up that Mutapack relatively easily.
Yeah, nor will it ever be big enough because right now DRG is just investing in everything that's not air at the moment. Yeah,
which is kind of interesting because it's going to force a lot of Thors. Oh, nice surround right there with the wings, especially since those Hellions do have blue flame. And they're all going to get taken out here by the mutas and the lings. Great job.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so DongRaeGu is now pulled a 30 supply advantage at the moment. Of course, we do have just tons. We have 4 Hellions, a Banshee, and 3 tanks at a time being produced. So there's already a lot of Thors out there, but there's going to be a ton of mech on the field here very, very soon. Second starport going up, second armory going up. His upgrades are going to be great, but that is a pretty imposing force that's coming out of DongRaeGu. He doesn't have Overlord speed, so sorry, it just looks funny, this huge push of Overlords that'll take about 4 minutes to reach their
it could be
target.
A problem because, well, I guess DreamerTT is not going to push anytime soon.
Yeah, he wants to be maxed before he does.
But if he did,
high-sec auto-tracking coming out as well, so they're making those turrets and any eventual planetary fortresses quite a bit more powerful, which is important for this one in the middle, but these Roaches have to watch out. These tanks are already well upgraded, and those Roaches will be destroyed if they just run into that. Will.
And he's going to go ahead and grab his 4th here in the midfield, and DreamerTT doing a great job thus far with the mech. I mean, he's just really playing passive. He's got great upgrades. He's just doing a good job all around, I feel. Cut
the map in half, use the Zelnaga towers, establish a siege tank line, and he will be good to go to play the drag fight. But, here we go, as a big drop is going inside of the main, and really not much here to go ahead and stop this. All those units being pulled to the side as DongRaeGu's moving around the bottom right-hand corner as well.
And the bottom right-hand corner attack looks to be headed towards the 4th here. There are some Mutalisks. The PF is not quite up yet, and there's just a single siege tank that he left behind. That's not going to be nearly enough to hold this off, and this is so pesky when you're playing against a Zerg player that's really good at this style. He might actually be able to get the PF as well. Didn't leave enough units, and certainly didn't need all of his units to go deal with the 10 to 15 Roaches that were in his main.
Not at all. So DongRaeGu is accumulating resources. He is remaxed once again. Looks like he's going to remax on Roaches, continuing with Roaches even after he's done his damage as he techs up 2 Hive at the same time. So we'll be able to move into Broodlords pretty darn quickly. But those Roaches, they're going to be a big surprise for what's down here at the bottom right. But there are siege tanks that are sitting there and they have to back away. This is turning into quite a crazy game, though.
Yeah, it certainly is.
We're 3 for 3 on good games. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I am too. DongRaeGu actually just, doing a great job staying active with the Roaches right now, forcing DreamerTT to pull his units all over the map, and he's going to drop again in the main, and then probably hit the 3rd once again. I mean, turret's just now going down.
There is a sensor tower up, so it's going to pick up on these Overlords starting to float their way in, and already we see DreamerTT pulling back. Very, very good reaction out of him.
Look at that mech ball, too. I mean, it's just scary.
Okay, so this subsequent push for DRG is not going to do near as much damage as the first one did, as he's
hitting the 3rd at the same time, though. Yeah. And there's tanks there already.
And he's only just taking out that command center that was being constructed. However, we have another one being constructed back at the 4th.
He was trying to make like 3 command centers there at one point, but the Roaches ended up picking a few of them off.
And more Roaches are being put out now for DRG, who's starting to slip in the supply game. And there's the Corruptors that I was looking for, but no Greater Spire tech has come in yet.
Maybe he wants to get a 2nd Spire and continue getting upgrades while teching to Greater Spire.
Possible.
Not sure what the Corruptors are going to do without a Greater Spire. They're just eating up supply right now.
He's just really afraid of the Banshees and Vikings at the moment.
Interesting.
All right. Well, as it stands, DongRaeGu has not been able to expand recently. And yes, he's won 4 bases. Yes, he's not going to be starved out for a while. But his opponent's going to be matching, if not exceeding, his production very, very soon.
Yeah, and really, I'm surprised Dreamer hasn't tried to push yet. I think he's just waiting for Weapons 3. As soon as he gets Weapons 3, I think it's time for him to go. He's close enough to max.
I think he would have felt a little more secure if this PF would have stayed up, you know. But as it stands, we've noticed that if there's anything about DreamerTT that you can criticize, he does tend to overreact a little bit. Hence the super stimming that we saw against Tails, hence pulling all of his forces back. But his reaction time and decision-making thus far has been exceptional, and he really does have DongRaeGu on the ropes right now.
Yeah, he certainly does. DongRaeGu delayed that Greater Spire by so long. He had plenty of resources. I'm not sure why he didn't start that right around the time that Hive finished, but we're going to have +3 finishing here, and, you know, if Dreamer's going to make a push, this is his chance.
I agree.
I think this is the time for him to do it.
We have another Raven coming up as well. But, again, these units are just poking inside of the sensor tower range, and DreamerTT is pulling back all of his forces to compensate. So DongRaeGu has done a good job of pinning his opponent on his side of the map, but that's still, there's just so much room to make up here in terms of supply, and DongRaeGu is banking all of this on Broodlord, saving up those resources.
And he left tanks for the counterattack this time as well. There's plenty of tanks to hold that off.
And DongRaeGu, I think, waiting for those Broodlords and saving the resources is going to kill him here.
It's
because,
definitely a possibility.
Oh, Dreamer's moving at just the absolute perfect time. So many drones go down there.
There's a great timing push from Dreamer right as Weapons 3 finished there. And, you know, DongRaeGu didn't make the transition quick enough, and he's not even really having to siege here. He's just straight up A-moving, and he can just A-move his way to the third if he wants. Trying to get in there and snipe one of the Thors. It gets super low. He's actually going to be able to pick it off here, I think. If he...
Yeah, in a second.
Oh, no, he doesn't go on it. So that Thor will stay alive to fight another day.
Yeah, they're going to... Oh, God! Oh, ridiculous scan goes down, and DongRaeGu is back by 75 supply down.
Now is where you add
multiple
5
bases.
starports.
Yeah, definitely. But he did manage to get those Broodlords out, and that's
Vikings
what he's
attack.
banking on.
Attack, Vikings, attack.
Yeah, I know. And the Vikings are actually starting to pick through those units pretty quickly.
He's losing a lot of mech, though.
Yes, he is. A lot of supply going down. He's trying to reproduce on purely Viking tank and Hellion. And he did just lose his entire attack force.
Oh my god, and he lost all of those Vikings as well. Gonna lose these Banshees as a follow-up. And he could be in a little bit of trouble here. This push from DRG, look how many Broodlords he has.
Yeah.
All we really have are tanks, turrets. He's trying to get some Vikings out.
He's actually just... I'm sorry, I was trying to think of the word there. Yeah, exactly. He's producing 6 Vikings at a time right now. Yes, six Vikings at a time. And he is going to have... Wow, actually quite a few on the field by the time these Broodlords make their way across. And don't forget, DongRaeGu is just not mining.
Look at how much damage that volley did.
Yeah.
Each volley from the Broodlords.
Oh, no, these are certainly very strong, and it helped him clear up that attack. But DreamerTT still, with that being said, attacked at just the right time. And he has so many Vikings out there.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, here it comes, though. We'll see if DRG can hold on, or if this is going to be his last grasp of breath.
The PDD helping so much. The Corruptors all being blocked. GG is called immediately after seeing that many Vikings.
And DreamerTT has taken out Tails, and now DongRaeGu sending QIM up 2-1 in this best of 9.
是上将